Hi.
Hi Rashi, how are you? Great, great,
Am I
perfect. Is our
audible?
network okay? Yes, you're perfectly audible. Am I?
Okay, great. Yeah, you're perfectly audible. So good to
Awesome.
finally meet you and
Yes, it's been with your team since a while.
we have received your lovely desserts here in the office, and everybody was literally fighting for the flavors, to sort of enjoy them, and they're really
Hello.
delicious. So
Hi Rashi, I
yeah,
think I lost you there.
I think there is a little bit of a lag there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
now
I
it's
was just
fine.
saying that,
It is better now.
yeah, I was just saying that, we sort of received the goodies here and yeah, we were all fighting for the right flavors that we all enjoy and they're really delicious. So kudos to you to create such, amazing products. And I'm sure it must have been quite a hard work. I'm just seeing that if a few more people are joining in, then we'd probably, start our discussion more formally then. But yeah, so we've really enjoyed the Scoopski goodies so far, and
Thank you so much.
um,
Likewise, we received your chocolate lip butter mask, and instead of giving it to our clients, our entire team is fighting over it. So, I mean, I don't know how much will go to the clients, very honestly, but yeah, really enjoying the
no,
products.
we're glad at least somebody's getting to consume it. It's not about whom, so I'm very happy to hear that. And yeah, so it's amazing. We've heard a lot about you since we got to know you. We've been sort of following you. It's been a great journey, I think, so far. And I'm really curious to actually understand a lot more about what you guys are doing. And it's very interesting, based out of Kolkata, right? And
Yes.
desserts from there have been my favorite. In the hostel times, our friends from there used to get such yummy desserts and stuff. So, I think you're trying to build something which is very contemporary in that space, but again, coming from a very traditionally known, location. So that's also
Mhm.
something really nice.
Right. I mean, I totally agree with that, what you said, because our approach to starting this amalgamation of both a modern approach while having traditional roots. And
Right,
the reason why we thought edible cookie dough would work in India is because Indians are used to the concept of halwa. They are used to having that as a
right.
dessert. And when you compare the consistency, the texture of the product, it is, while being a modern dessert, it is sort of on the lines of a halwa. I mean, I wouldn't compare I
Right.
wouldn't compare it to an ice cream. I would compare it to a halwa if I had to. So that way, it's both, I'd say, traditional as well as modern.
Right. And so tell me a little bit now that we have enough people, like let's talk about a little more in terms of your journey. So what really led you to get into this space and what made you start, Scoopski in the first place? And what was the thought behind it?
Right. So I go back to my childhood for that matter. I have always been a foodie. Like anything food would get me on my toes, like immediately. And so ever since the beginning, I sort of knew I wanted food. And I came across the concept of edible cookie dough when I went to the US to study. And at
Mm-hmm.
that time, cookie dough was just coming up as a concept. And in the West, people have sort of grown up having dough from as the batter itself, right? Dough from the bowl
Right.
while making cookies.
Yes.
However, that
Right.
wasn't really the concept in India. It was still something alien to India. However, the flavor was something
Mm.
that really got me going. The texture was something that really
Mm.
got me going. And the fact that it was extremely versatile in nature, the product
Mm-hmm.
itself. So you
Mm-hmm.
can
Mm-hmm.
have it as it is, you can eat the dough as it is, and you can also bake it into cookies. So
Right.
Indians, like we say, love a bang for their buck, right? They want to get
Yeah.
paisa vasool with everything.
Right.
So this was that product that could really give you paisa vasool in every way. So you could
Right.
have it as it is. You could make it into cookies. You could put it in milk and make it into a milkshake. You could use it as a topping. So that way, we felt that given the Indian consumer mindset, it would really work. And that's where we started to experiment with it and ended up creating itself.
That's pretty nice, actually. It's something very interesting what you're doing, not very usual. And this is where I feel that you guys are quite unique in your own positioning. So, like any new interesting products that you're sort of planning to come up with?
Right. So we want to get into both food and beverage segment when it comes to dessert, and we want to launch products
Okay.
which are not heard of till now, are unique, are experimental, and are innovative. So we have launched a couple of food
Right.
products in the past 2-3 years now, and we want to get into beverage as of now. So that, I mean, you can look forward to a couple of beverage launches in the near future.
Nice. Nice. So, um, another bit that probably comes when you say beverages and all these things to be shipped, right? I think you guys ship all India. So,
Yes,
are
Pan India.
you, so how do you exactly plan to like have the hassles of the shipping, right? When it comes to actually shipping edibles, I think it's still quite challenging coming to India because it's a warmer climate. Also, the way the couriers are treated at times, we face challenges. So, how do you guys usually manage that aspect?
So it's a funny and a long story. What we dealt with this exact issue 3 years back, and when we started off, we our packaging was in a glass jar, and as we know, glass is not very it's not very stable. It can break very easily, and it's not very portable as well.
Mm,
So that is something
right,
we faced an ongoing issue with. That there was a lot of breakage, spillage throughout the last
right,
3 years. And we do not want to go through the cold chain because it is extremely expensive for a brand. Plus, it's not sustainable without, I mean, higher MOQs. So,
right.
given that we wanted to keep our product in ambient temperatures, we do not want to use the cold storage. And we
Mm,
also wanted to have a packaging which is more durable. But the thing is, the product was such, like 3 years back, the product which we had was such that it would
mm.
only last for 20 days in ambient temperatures, and it required a freezer to last for 6 months. So it took us 3 years to
Oh,
come up
okay.
with a product which is good for 6 months in ambient temperatures. And in fact, we're the
Wow.
first ones in the world to have a cookie dough which is good in ambient temperatures for 6 months without any preservatives.
That's quite
So it
something.
it was a journey launching that, and now that we've cracked the product packaging sort of ratio, we can now go ahead with ambient temperature packaging. With that, we still face issues with packaging, like you said, like that's a D2C problem in general,
Hmm.
packaging small orders. And with that, we've understood through the time what kind of dimensions and what kind of weightage work. So that is
Hmm.
something we have experimented with a lot, and it's always a trial and error. There's no right answer to this. As it completely depends on the product that you have and also how long the shipment will go on for.
Right. No, no. That's kind of completely
Yeah.
understandable, commendable, yeah, that you guys put in so much effort. Like 3 years is a long time, and to be the first ones to be able to do that is another achievement, I think, which is really, really nice.
I mean, it was a
So
big gamble.
yeah, I'm sure I can understand that because you don't know whether it will still work, right? You put in so
Yeah.
much time and effort. So when it comes to manufacturing, like considering India for something like a cookie dough, how do you guys sort of manage that aspect about working with manufacturers, especially coming as a startup, right? Because it can get challenging, like you mentioned about MOQs, etc. So how did you go about
Mhm.
that process?
So we started off manufacturing ourselves from our home kitchen initially, and then we
Okay,
moved to a manufacturing unit which is completely owned by us. So
okay.
we manufacture all our products ourselves, and it
Hmm.
is also a patent pending product. So till the time we get the patent, we don't want to give it to a third party manufacturer.
Got it, got it. So, was it easy, difficult to sort of get a manufacturing setup of your own, considering, in India, it's quite a bit of a process.
It was understanding what machinery is perfect for this, understanding
Hmm.
what volumes we can do with the machinery was another challenge. But
Right.
I'd tell you the most challenging part was okay, so our manufacturing unit is on the first floor, and the most challenging part initially was to get 600 kgs of machinery to the first floor. And
Yeah.
since it was the first time for us doing that, we didn't
Yeah.
realize what kind of damage could be done. So at that
Oh.
point, we were trying to get manual labor to move the 600 kg machinery to the floor, and we ended up
Mm.
breaking the entire flight of stairs. So that's
Oh
the
my God.
sort of learning we had, and that's still there. We've kept it as like a milestone for us. We haven't repaired the
Mm.
staircase at all. so that it keeps us, keeps us like alert
reminded.
and aware of the
Yeah.
fact that, okay, these mistakes can be made. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, these
In fact,
these
I'd also like
mistakes
to
are
ask
your
you,
biggest
you are
learning.
also
Yeah, yeah,
creating a
please.
category.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So you guys are also creating a category, and a very interesting category for that matter. I mean, it's extremely niche. I want
Yeah.
to understand what were your learnings and how did you exactly come to, creating products for the lip and lip only?
Right. So, for us, I think the concept started with a personal journey. I myself was, experiencing this issue, right, of pigmented lips. And I realized that my lips are getting darker. And the first question that probably came to my mind was that I don't smoke, so why are my lips getting dark, right? That's the first thing that always comes to our mind. And I'm not a smoker, then why are my lips getting dark? And I wanted to sort of understand the reason behind it because the first issue is that there's no awareness, right? When it comes to our lip
Right.
skin, there's really no awareness. So I wanted to, I sort of started consulting with my sister, talking to my friends, and trying to understand that, okay, are you also going through something? This is something happening to me. Do you know why this is happening? So what I realized was most of them were actually going through this issue, and none of them had a clue as to why this was happening to them or even how to solve it. While I frantically tried to search for a product in the market, what I realized is the key USP of the lip balms is long lasting hydration and the flavors, the delicious flavors, right? That is usually the USP that is offered, but
Right.
nobody is really talking about the kind of problems that our lips actually goes through because they do, right? We have problems of pigmentation, of excessive chappiness. We do have a problem of lip aging, which not many people are even aware of, where our lips start getting flattened and there are a lot of lines that develop. So it interested me. It
Right.
interested me as a concept, and I wanted to understand further about it. And when I did a lot of research in terms of market study, etc., I realized that actually, out of three people, one person in India is actually suffering through lip pigmentation, and that is because we are a much more warmer climate, and in our country,
Right.
more than hydration, lip pigmentation is a larger problem to solve. And everybody else in the lip care industry is just talking about lip hydration. That is all that they're talking about because we just ape the West, right? Everything. Usually we just ape the West.
Correct.
But nobody is really talking from a specialized perspective where they're trying to be problem solvers. The gap that I observed and I wanted to do something about it, and hence we chose this particular niche. We didn't want us to be restricted with a broader positioning of maybe just being Ayurvedic or just trying to be there for some other reason. So we understood it very clearly that we have to specialize in this category so that we can be problem specific and we can offer consumers
Right.
everything and anything that they need when it comes to lips, right? So, for instance, even today, if you have your shelf of your personal care and beauty products, I doubted that you would have everything from the same brand. You would actually value something specific of a certain brand, right? So, this is where we want to be. We want to own the space of your lip care space in the shelf, and we want to be the go to brand for lip care in India for the consumers and, of course, globally.
That's extremely interesting, in fact, Rashi, because I am a user of your lip wash and I
Is it?
genuinely recommend that product to everybody.
Thank
And
you
it's
so much.
it's absolutely ingenious. Like the product that you guys have made along with the lip brush, it
Right.
is fantastic, honestly. And
Thank
I
you.
can see a visible difference after using it. So
Great.
genuinely, like a true promoter and lover of your product.
Thank you.
But I'd like to get to the causes as well. How did you
Sure.
identify that apart from smoking, I mean,
Yes.
even without smoking, your lips can get
Yes.
dry. Is that only because of
Yes.
the climate, or are there other factors to it?
No, there are many factors. So, for instance, we have a habit of lip licking. We have more exposed to sun and pollution in our country, right? So, sun damage is another issue, which is very, very severe. We also have a lot of pollution and dust and smoke around us all the time, which again causes issues.
Right. Hello. I think I lost you.
Good enough now? Should I start?
Hello. Yeah, I think yeah, it's perfect now.
Okay, great. So I was referring to cosmetic use as well. Wearing lipsticks and cosmetics can also further cause pigmentation on your lips and cause issues, right? Plus, like I mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
aging. Lip aging is a concept which is absolutely non-familiar in the country or anywhere, right? You don't really talk about it. So when I studied, I also realized that the skin of biologically your skin of lips in your face is different,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have only 5 to 6 layers on your lips, and which is why you can see the blood vessels and they appear pink, and also they are a lot more sensitive as compared to your face care. So
Right.
that is when we realize that, okay, not just in terms of the exposure or the kind of issues, but also because whatever you put on your lips goes inside your mouth, as well as the
Mm-hmm.
fact that your lips are much more sensitive, this actually needs specific attention, and these need products of their own. I'd be very scared to put a face serum on my lips, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so that is when I realized that it has to be lip safe as well. Even if it goes inside my mouth, I shouldn't worry about it. So lip wash, like you mentioned, is actually made with all lip safe ingredients. So even if it goes inside your mouth, it's nothing to worry.
Great. So do you also require any kind of food licensing for lip products? Just curious to
No,
know.
we don't need. We need a cosmetic license, but we don't need a food grade license. No. Though a lot of our
Got it.
ingredients are food grade that we use because of the lip
Uh-huh.
safety, but like our butters and
Mm-hmm.
oils, for instance, are actually food grade. But even the flavors, but we don't really, need a licensing particularly for that. It's because it's a cosmetic and topical product.
Perfect. I generally vouch for your chocolate lip butter mask, the one which you're giving away with Scoopski, because that generally tastes like chocolate. Absolutely loving using it.
And the fudge, right? So that's how we
Yeah.
got to the idea of merging the two together, because we wanted, like, the chocolate is the most loved flavor, right? So Scoopski's chocolate fudge is
Mm-hmm.
definitely really delicious, and we thought that, okay, our chocolate lip butter mask could be a really good blend there, and people could genuinely enjoy that combo a lot.
Right. I mean, I think it's perfect as a combination of two D2C brands. But
Right.
I'd also like to ask you, how do you think D2C versus marketplaces is working for you?
So I'd say it's a mix. We are more D2C centric, that's for sure. We have our own strength there. Though I would say that marketplaces helps you because consumers who've not seen your brand before, and they are a little skeptical because there are a lot of brands these days where they are not sure of whether they should be making a purchase. So there, in terms of sort of adding a little bit of credibility for the consumer, a ease of buying, marketplaces definitely help you. Plus, in terms of generating visibility, because they already have a very high traffic as compared to your own D2C stores, I think marketplaces definitely give you a lot more visibility, for your brand. So that is also
Right.
another reason why I would say that marketplaces are also very important for a brand like us, right? Between you and me, I think all D2C brands would not just want to be focused on their own websites. They would want to have a presence on marketplaces as well.
Right. I totally agree with that. And I feel the visibility in marketplaces give you, it's sort of simulating offline visibility.
Right.
And I feel both offline visibility as well as marketplace visibility is extremely important for sustenance of any brand.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
are you guys available offline as well?
Not yet. We are contemplating it. In fact, this is something that I wanted to ask you as well. Is there any plan that you have in terms of your physical retail outlets that you guys are thinking of expanding to?
So we don't want to have our own retail outlets because that again is an extremely expensive affair. However,
Hmm.
we are available with quite a few retail stores, um, as in A plus stores, modern trade stores, and we are taking that up as our sort of quarterly goal this quarter, and
Hmm.
going forward with offline expansion all over
Right. That's
India.
that's good actually. So how have you seen the the sort of in terms of an experience as a brand in order to reach the consumer? What is the difference according to you, key difference when it comes to offline or online?
So online, it's extremely trackable. You can track every single thing. You can track cost per acquisition, cost per click, customer acquisition, everything you can track, and plus you can track the avenues from where you're getting the customers, and then
Right.
accordingly you can understand where to increase your ad spends or where to increase your marketing spends. However, offline is a very big gamble. Also, it is not absolutely trackable, and it's not something that you can sort of understand on a personal level, because
Right.
offline is something that completely depends on word of mouth sales, and also depends on how good your convincing power is, how good the convincing power of the salesperson is. It's
Right.
not something that your team can directly sort of dictate.
Manage. Yeah, very
And
true.
but then again, when I look at the cost perspective, it is much cheaper to do it offline than online, because it usually takes 6 to 7 views per customer for it to actually result on a click. And
Right.
offline, it just completely is your packaging game and your communication.
Right.
So I
Very
feel there are
true.
pros and cons to both, but
Yeah.
I don't think either can work without the other on a long-term basis.
True. That's very true. So are you guys specifically located in some cities, or are you pan-India when it comes to your reach in terms of offline?
Offline reach, we are not pan-India yet. We aim to be. And online, we are available everywhere. We're still growing our offline reach. So we are starting off with cities like Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad. And then we slowly move forward to tier 2, tier 3 cities.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Great. Yeah, so I think I've mostly asked a lot of questions. I'm good for now. Anything at your end?
Yeah, just what's your future plan with ALANNA?
So our future plans, like you rightly asked us, even we are sort of contemplating an offline presence right now, considering, like you said, it's very important as a channel for sales. We also have huge plans in terms of our product pipeline. So we want to introduce a lot more products going forward, and these are going to be something innovative that has not been seen into lip care, because we, as being a category expert, we also want to be into category creations, right? So a lot of our products that we're going to actually launch are going to be category creators. So that's the hope, that we want to introduce some really exciting products and try to expand our reach as much as possible. So these two, I think, would be the top.
Awesome. All the best with that. And very honestly, I don't know if it'll come across well or not, but I really feel and I hope your products get copied. Because honestly, once a product gets copied, you know you're killing it.
Yeah, that's true. We are already getting
that's how you create the market.
Yeah, and we are getting some feelers of that already. So though we've created a periphery to sort of protect ourselves there. Like you mentioned, we are also a patent pending formula for our lip wash. So we sort of try to protect ourselves there. But yeah, it's not easy to not get copied in India. So
right. No, I actually take it as a compliment than as something to be worried about.
I agree with you.
Once your product gets copied, you know, okay, there's
I'm doing something right. Yeah. Absolutely. Imitation is the best form of flattery, right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
It was great talking to you, Rashi.
Yeah, same here.
Looking forward to a perfect collaboration in the future.
Yes, and let's stay in touch offline as well. And we should definitely keep touch base in terms of how we're sort of growing. Share any notes with each other. We'll definitely do that. Looking forward to a long-term collaboration with Scoopski. I think for the people who are watching, we have an amazing offer where, with our products, you have the delicious choco fudge of Scoopski, and with Scoopski chocolate fudge, you have our chocolate lip butter mask for free for a limited time period offer. So please do check out the sites of both the brands and try to avail this as soon as possible.
And we'll also have a giveaway coming very soon, so watch out for that.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Yeah.